Hello everybody and welcome to Mount Pleasant Gaming. I am Emperor Craig and this is my first video to do with Phasmophobia, which I bought on PlayStation 5 not that long ago. Well, actually bought it on the day it was released. And this is me doing the Phasmophobia Weekly Challenge, Glow in the Dark I believe it's called. And there's a few things missing. You don't have flashlights, you don't have the video camera, and there's other things missing as well. As you can see, the first three items I decided to take in were the UV stick for light, the EMF reader so I can try and find the ghost, and the thermometer. Usually I would take in the camera instead of the UV stick. I don't usually take in lights or flashlight when I go in, to be honest, because I prefer to work in the light. I usually turn lights on as I'm walking through the house, but with this challenge the fuse box is actually broken, so you're unable to turn any lights on, so you are constantly in the dark. And this is actually on Edgefield Road. First part of this video is me just searching for the ghost room. It's tough to know where it is. So I'm searching mainly with the EMF reader. Usually I do go with the camera first and then try with thermometer, which might not be the best things to do, to be honest. I know other people have their own methods, but I prefer EMF and video camera. Thermometer takes a bit too long, to be honest, and with this map, with the fuse box being broken, the house isn't going to be able to warm up at all, and because of that the thermometer will take way too long to get you the temperature. I'm probably spending too long on the temperature here, but that is my failing. I'm still kind of new to the game. I played it on PC when it was first out back in 2020. But I didn't play it for that long because I'm not really good with PC gaming. I don't really like using keyboard and mouse. Even though I'm really good on a keyboard, I'm really good at typing, I just don't like using the keyboard for gaming. Now, at this point I'm in the bathroom upstairs, and this is actually where the ghost room ended up being. I think I figured it out because of the temperature. I actually am recording this audio afterwards, so I'm not recording as I'm playing. I probably should record the audio as I play if I'm going to do this again, because otherwise I have to remember everything that I did. Now, I'm looking around with the EMF because I'm hearing the ghost doing things, and EMF will give you a good idea of where the room is, because you'll be able to hear where they're actually interacting. I believe at this point the thermometer is going down enough for me to know that this is the room, and I'll probably drop the thermometer in a minute. I do drop it at some point, I know that, but yeah, I hear interactions. As you can tell by the way I was swapping things and nearly lit a match, I'm still getting used to things. But yeah, I'm searching because I still don't have EMF as a reading, as a evidence yet. So I'm still trying to figure things out. But I am confident that the ghost's upstairs. Here I'm actually looking for hiding spots just in case the ghost hunts. The one problem with being in the dark for so long is actually that your sanity will drain a lot quicker, which means the ghost will hunt sooner. Now I'm checking for EMF because I know the ghost has interacted. I'm checking for UV, not EMF, sorry. I probably should be better at this. This kind of thing scares me. Not very good when the ghost just suddenly pops up. I do usually crap my pants, if I'm honest. But even though the ghost can event on you anywhere, I'm confident that's the ghost room at that point, and I don't know why. But I'm going back to the van for more tools because of how positive I am. As you can see, my sanity is quite low. It's at a threshold where some ghosts will start hunting, so I do take some sanity pills. And right there I'm see that there's a huge spike on the activity reader. Now that huge spike, for me, because I wasn't in the house, meant that it was EMF 5. I'm pretty sure that is how I'm pretty sure I did it correctly, because if you're not actually in the house and you get a massive spike on the activity, I think that is actually a minimum that it will go to if it's EMF level 5 and you're not in the house. It can go to EMF level 5 on the activity meter with you not in the house, or with you in the house rather, but it might not be EMF 5. It just depends on the interactions, I believe. Don't quote me on any of this. I'm still learning from a lot of videos that I watch, and so I'm not 100% sure on anything. But because of that huge spike, I'm confident it is EMF 5. Now, I am saying I'm confident it's EMF 5 right now, but there is a point later in the game where I'm not so confident, and I will double check just to make sure, because like I said, I'm still new, so maybe I read it wrong, but maybe not. Now here I put down a ghostwriting book for evidence, and now I'm using the spirit box. As you can see by the white lights flashing, I did actually get a response on spirit box, which means that is evidence. And because I also saw cold breath, I know that's the ghost room up there. So I'm going back to the van just to check things out, because I'm a coward as well. This game genuinely does frighten me. I don't know why. I don't get frightened of anything, but this game does it for me big time. At this point, I decided to start ruling out some evidence. I did cut out quite a bit of gameplay here because it was just me going around the house looking for UV, looking where the ghost interacted, seeing if I get UV. I did go through just to check what evidence was needed based on what I've got left, and there were a few ghosts left. I think twins, spirit, I think wraith was one of them, which is why I'm taking salt as well, to check for the wraith footprints, because wraith cannot step in salt. And here, not only can I rule out wraith, but I can. I've also ruled out UV at this point because I would have seen it by now. But because the wraith stepped in the footprints, I can confidently rule out wraith. So as you could see, I was left with only spirit and twins, and I'm going through seeing which evidence each one would require. Spirit, neither one would require dots, so I don't have to worry about that. So freezing would be twins, and ghostwriting would be spirit. So at this point, I believe at this point I retrieve another ghostwriting book, just so I can get some more. I'll have a bigger chance of ghostwriting. I also take a crucifix, because my main goal is not to be hunted here. I want to try and find all the evidence without being hunted, because, like I said, I'm still new. I'm not very confident of running away from the ghosts. So I do put a ghost book here and the crucifix in here. And I put the crucifix in here because, as I said, this is the ghost room. I didn't take too long to find the ghost room, luckily enough. But I will keep checking temps, because the thermo is unreliable, and with the breaker broken, like I said, that the entire house will be cold as well. I'm not sure how cold the house will be, but it's just a pain to actually get low temps when the rest of the house isn't warm, because when you first start a game on any level but amateur, the breaker starts off. With amateur it starts on, and so the house, once the breaker's on and the house starts warming up, the ghost room gets even colder, because that's where the ghost is spending most of the time, and so it's easier to get temps. Now at this point I did hear the ghost writing book get thrown, and you can see that it's not there, so I am confident now that it's not ghostwriting. So realistically I could just say it was twins, and say that it's freezing without getting freezing. But I do stick around for a while because I want to try and confirm it more. You can actually look on to the monitor as well, and you can see there are these like little where the spike goes up a little bit, and then it goes up again in a different direction, and then it goes down in a different direction as well, and then in another different direction. It's like really, it's like a slight change. Apparently that is actually one of the big signs for twins on the activity monitor, because when it's just normal activity, it will go up as a spike and then it will flatten out and then go up again. But with twins, it goes up and then goes slightly in a slightly different direction, which should make it obvious, but I'm not 100% confident. I am actually searching around for the book, because one of the issues with the ghostwriting book is sometimes the ghost can write in it and then throw it, and if they write in it then throw it and you rule out ghostwriting because they threw it, then you don't see that they wrote in it. And so I did want to find the book before I 100% ruled it out, because I'm not confident enough to initiate a hunt. One of the things that the really good players do is they can tell based on footsteps, and the tell with the twins on footsteps speed is that in a hunt, one of the twins' footsteps is slightly slower than normal, and then the other twin is slightly faster than normal. And so if you have multiple hunts and the twins is one of your ghosts that you think it is, you can actually judge it based on that and say, oh, the speed was slightly slow, slightly fast. I think here, I'm not sure what I'm doing actually. Okay, I'm going back in because I'm going to check. I go in and check a lot, to be honest. And I'm just trying to confirm, because I really want to get freezing temps before I 100% say it's twins. Even though realistically I can already say it's twins. But they're right there. You didn't see it, but the book got closed. And so now I can confidently say it's twins because they shut another book without actually doing anything. But my one concern now, at this point in my mind, is what if the EMF I read earlier was wrong and I wasn't very good at reading the activity board, because I'm still not confident in myself in the game. So I will be going around checking EMF quickly just to double check, and I believe I get it in a minute actually. I can't tell you when I get it because, see, that doesn't count because that is a ghost event, and in a ghost event the EMF will go crazy, but it's not EMF 5, so you've got to be careful. You can only get EMF level 5 outside of an event or a hunt. If it's during an event or a hunt, then unfortunately it cannot count as evidence. A lot of people make that mistake, that I've seen on Reddit and other places, where they classify it as EMF level 5, but it's actually in a hunt or an event, and the EMF will go crazy during those anyway. But I'm basically listening for sounds, listening for any kind of interactions that the ghost will make. Like at that point I think I turned the shower on, but I didn't get EMF level 5 from it. And again, I checked for fingerprints. I'm really not that confident in myself, to be honest. But here, right there, I got that big spike. It went just slightly above. So there, I'm 100% confident that it is twins. And so I go back to the truck. All that activity, probably close to being hunted with that sanity level. Sanity level is like 50%, so I could be hunted soon. So yeah, I decide it's twins. And boom, it's twins. I got it right. That was my first game of the challenge. Thankfully I got it right. So now we're on to the second game of the weekly challenge. You need to find the ghost 3 times to complete the weekly, which will then net you $5,000 and 5,000 XP. And so I take the same things as before. I'm not going to lie, this video is probably going, or this section of the video is probably going to be heavily edited down. Luckily I find UV straight away because the ghost interacted with our door, so I've already got that. I will admit though, I had a lot of trouble finding the ghost room. I'm not very good when it comes to finding the ghost room. Sometimes it took me a long time. I'm gonna delete. I'm gonna delete a lot from here. So what I'm gonna do is say I thought it was in the basement at first because I had a decent EMF spike in the basement. I didn't record it as EMF 5 though because it wasn't that high. So I thought it was the basement at first. Then there was another point where I believed it was in the kitchen because it interacted with stuff in the kitchen while I was in there. Eventually I figured out where it was though, and it was in the living room upstairs. The thing is with the ghosts, they can actually interact with things that are in the vicinity of their room. The basement is in the vicinity of the living room because it's just below, so it could interact there. The door is the hallway, so it interacted there, and the kitchen is right next to the living room. And so all of those interactions meant that it was actually next to the living room. Or it was in the living room, but all the interactions were around the living room. But luckily I found the living room. I might skip that because there'll be a lot of just me searching otherwise, it's probably boring. Although me talking all the time is probably boring as well because you can't hear the game. So sorry. So I left a lot of that stuff in because that was roughly from the moment when I thought it was in the kitchen. I had set up salt already to test for Wraith and UV. I don't know why I was testing for Wraith because I don't think Wraith has UV anyway. And the fact that I already had UV meant Wraith was ruled out. But at this point I was thinking that it wasn't in the kitchen anymore. You can see that I was searching the other rooms nearby. Then I went into the living room and I was just looking for temps, and you could see that I had cold breath, so at this point I knew it was in the living room. Took a while, but thankfully I found it. I'm doing a spirit box test, nothing on there right now. But just because you don't get anything on the spirit box, it doesn't mean the ghost isn't there. It just means the ghost isn't close enough to you at that moment in time. So you really need to wait. Another thing with the spirit box is it only works if you're in the dark, and if the ghost responds to people who are alone, it will work on you. If you're alone, only if you're alone. But if it's everyone, I believe I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think the spirit box can work with other people in the room only if it responds to everyone. But don't take that as fact. Take that as me speaking out of my ass because I don't 100% know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I see my sanity down a little bit, so I decided to take some pills. And I'm just basically prepping the room now. It's a big room, so I take crucifixes. I've taken 2 ghostwriting books in, another second dots. I'm just prepping the room so that if the ghost is going to do ghostwriting or decide to try and start a hunt, then it's blocked off and that the dots are capturing as much as possible. Tier 1 dots not very good, especially in a big room like this. Searching for EMF because I heard interaction. Now at this point I see my ghostwriting book thrown off to the side. I did pick it up and put it back down just to make sure it hadn't been written in before it was thrown. And because it wasn't written in and was thrown, I do safely rule out ghostwriting. I'm also trying to think about what other evidence I can rule out. I see that Banshee is available as a ghost, so at some point I do take a parabolic mic in, but I don't use it because I end up not needing it. I checked for spirit box too late then. The ghost had, you've got a limited time to check before the ghost has wandered away from the scene of the interaction. So at that point I shouldn't have bothered checking the spirit box, but I thought it was worth a shot. So at this point I'm looking for the further evidence, and I decided to check temps. Temps goes below 0, so I can actually safely cross that off the list as an evidence that I've got. And there's only 3 ghosts left now, which means there's only 3 evidence that can be EMF level 5, Ghost Orb or Spirit Box. Ghost Orb I will not get on this challenge because there's no camera available. Spirit Box I can try, but I've really got to be near the ghost. I do try now, as you'll be able to see, and I get nothing, so I decide to go outside and quickly figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. As you can see, I'm going to leave this clip because I'm outside for a while, and I rule out the evidence that I don't need, and I go back to the van quickly to have a think and check my sanity. And right here, you can see it went up to level 5 on the activity monitor. So I know there it's EMF level 5, and that can only be a djinn. So I got lucky there, I think, that I was outside the house for so long when it did something. I probably should have closed that. So yeah, you can see it's a djinn. So luckily I got the second one, second game, second challenge, ghost done. Okay, here's me attempting to get number 3. Again, it's the second attempt to get number 3.
This is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
No, I want that. I tried number 3 already and I died. It was a mare. But it didn't do the mare ability, which was actually annoying. And it killed me straight away. I didn't even have a warning. Oh, level 5 already. Nice. Not going to be in this hall, is it? I don't think this hall can be a room. Can this hall be a room? I don't even know. Problem is I'm getting cold breath everywhere right now. It's because of the snow. God damn it. Yeah, the snow, you'll get cold breath in pretty much every room when you can't have a breaker on. Which is actually going to make getting temps very difficult. I actually don't know what to do because I'm not really experienced enough to understand how to do this now. The fact I got EMF right in here straight away really confuses me as to where the ghost can be. Don't really want to go down here. Just not hearing it do anything. I think that's the room. I should probably take salt. And a crucifix. Oh, crucifix didn't help me in the last. Oh, that's a big jump. I've already got EMF level 5 though. Don't even know why I keep looking at the monitor. Alright.
We're playing along.
What?
Hello, there you are.
Okay. Be quiet, Oscar. I'm trying to. I want to be able to record.
You call it?
I want to, yeah. So please.
I got the shop, by the way.
Okay.
No anything?
No.
Right.
I'm not confident this is the ghost room anymore. No, it says. It's just not doing anything. Okay, another cruci. Just in case. The spirit box means I just did that phone, so it means it's here. Nope. definitely here. I'm still in the assault with no UAV, not UAV. UAV's a weapon. No UV though. I'm confident in ruling out UV. Confident in ruling out spirit box as well. Which means decided the dots, orbs, on frightened. Oh wow, look at all that activity. Right. It's definitely not ultraviolet because there's no way. No way. Spirit box I'll keep on the table for now actually. But so I still need. I need everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these doesn't have anything. Okay. So it can be right in. It can be everything at this point. It can be everything at this point. I'm gonna take smudge now. No, it's all about waiting for evidence. It's an obake. Look at the fingerprint. Sorry, I'll explain. That fingerprint has 6 fingers, which means it's an obake. Only an obake or a mimic can show 6 fingers. So what I do now is look. Ultraviolet's back on the table, but the mimic doesn't have EMF level 5, and I've got that. So with the UV, the only options are those 4. And the obake is the only one of those that will actually do that. That will do the 6 finger. The mimic can do it too, but the mimic can't. I don't think it would do AMF 5. If this is a mimic, I'm gonna cry because that means it could mimic 2. It could mimic. Could it mimic EMF level 5 so much? No, I'm gonna go with obake. Praise for me, because if this isn't an obake, I am going to be upset. I think I've got one before. Yes, it was an obake. I did it.
Welcome back.
Okay, I did it. It was an obake. Nice. Sorry, I brought that up. I don't know why. This is actually the first weekly challenge I've done on my own. The other ones, the previous 2 I've done, I've cheesed them both by just guessing the ghosts are next to the map. This is the first one I've done by myself, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, if you've watched all of this video, then I hope you enjoyed it. If not, then I hope you enjoyed what you did watch. Although I don't get many views anyway, so there might only be like 2 people watching this, but I appreciate you. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.